Welcome to Kicking It Local. I am Johnny Kecko, and this is the podcast where I chat to people across the South Australian football community. I'll be chatting to coaches, players, officials, volunteers, anything in between. As long as they're involved in our game, they've got a story to share. And today, I'll be taking a virtual drive 2.5 hours out of the Adelaide CBD to Port Pirie. And thanks to the technologies of video conferencing, today I am joined by the Technical Director of the Northern Demons Virtus in State League 2 of South Australia, Domenic Sciancalepore. Thanks for joining me, mate.
No worries. Thanks, Johnny. Pleasure to be here.
I've got an Italian background, so I understand how to pronounce your name a little bit, but I don't think I got it correctly. How do you pronounce it properly?
Oh, just Sciancalepore.
Sciancalepore. Oh, there we go. I was close. Close.
Very close. Done well.
Hey, for those that are not aware of your club, the Northern Demons, based in Port Pirie, it's about a 2.5 hour drive from the Adelaide CBD. I want to talk a little bit about the club, about yourself, because you've been there for a long time, 25 years, and the club's been around for just over 70 now. But there's a lot to talk about this club. But first of all, I want to talk about your role at the club, because you're the technical director.
Yeah.
What actually is involved in being a technical director?
Oh, look, I mainly, as I used to coach the senior team, so I mainly took this role because to understand the needs and the support that the senior coaches need and what the boys need in Adelaide in the way of the training setup and the coaching support groups and all that. So not so much if you see the Karuskas and all that. I'm not that hands-on in that way. It's more the way we set out and plan out the way we set up.
And the club has a bit of an attachment to you because you've been there for 25 years. You said you were a coach there at one point. You're also a player.
Yeah.
For 25 years you've been at this club. How much does it actually mean to you being a part of a club like this?
It's more the love of football, to be honest. If I wasn't at Northern Demons, I'd be at another club. But it's just in the blood, and I love doing what I do, and yes, it's all about football for me.
That's a great way to hear it. Because before that, for a few years, you were at Savoy. What was your involvement there? Was it just as a player back then?
Yeah, just as a player. You know, playing with a bunch of mates, but you know, most of my family was at Virtus. So I moved over after 5 years and had a little bit success in the reserves.
Sorry.
You're right.
A club being so far away from State League 2, there'll be a lot of different difficulties, challenges you've got to come by, because other clubs, they probably got a 10-minute drive to their away games. But for you, you got like a minimum 2.5 hour drive, and depending on where it's based in South Australia, it could be even longer. So what's some of the challenges that your team comes across each week?
We've got huge challenges, but you know, when we go to Adelaide, people say, "Oh, how do you do it every second week?" We're used to it. The boys are just so used to it. You know, most of them love the game, and we've got 2 minibuses that we bought that transfer all the players on Saturdays. They came back Saturday night, and then they take all the juniors up on Sundays for their away games. So, yeah, it's a commitment, but, you know, when you've got kids that want to play at a higher level, we provide that.
Is there, obviously, we talk about the challenges in it, but there would be some positives that come out of it, because you're spending 3 hours in a bus with a whole heap of other people. The camaraderie around the club would be at a high level, wouldn't it?
Oh, it's a pretty tight-knit group, yeah. But we spend a lot of time together, especially travelling. So even the boys that come down from Adelaide to Pirie, they become tight-knit because they travel every second week as well. So, yeah, we're pretty tight-knit. And look, and the friendships flow on for years and years.
Talking about tight-knit, I'll do some research on your club as well and notice you guys hold pizza nights. I hear you're the pizza chef down there and make some amazing pizzas. Have you got any secrets about the pizzas down at the Northern Demons?
Oh, there's no secret, mate. There's just wood oven. There's something different. And it's quite popular when we run our 7-a-side in the summer.
Yep.
So we do it every couple of weeks, and it's just a great atmosphere. They come for a beer and they have a pizza, and it's been fantastic, actually, since we've had our artificial pitch dropped in about 3 years ago through the grants that were available at the time. yeah, it's been a godsend for us.
Those having those funds coming in for you guys to be able to do things like that, how has it changed your club from another level? You guys have the last 2 years have struggled a little bit, and that could be because of COVID. But prior to that, 3 years in a row, you made the finals, and the first of those three, you were just so close to getting promotion into the State League One.
Yeah.
Now having these funds to be able to do stuff like rebuild your home ground, what's that doing for the club and also for the city of Port Pirie?
Oh, it's just helps us offset the cost of water, obviously, and that helps us put money into the players and the facilities. Attracts more players. We get players from all around the area now that just come to. They love playing on the pitch, and the facilities that we provide. Just for example, we've got 2 boys coming from Port Lincoln, played Resis and 18s. Boys play from Whyalla, Wallaroo, Port Augusta, surrounding areas like Gladstone. So, we travel 2.5 hours to Adelaide, but they've got to travel to Pirie first before they do that trip, which is amazing.
And that would have a bit of an advantage for you guys as well, or
Yeah, we like to think we're a bit of we try to make a bit of a fortress. A lot of Adelaide clubs say we're very hard to beat at home. When you got your local support behind you, always makes a difference, that's for sure.
And Port Pirie is a beautiful place. I haven't been there yet, but it's on my bucket list to come down. What's it actually? What's some of your favourite bits there? Because you've been a local there all your life.
Yeah.
What's some of your favourite parts about that community in Port Pirie?
Oh, just the closest. Everyone knows everyone, and we seem to support each other. Say within our club, our corporate sponsors are local businesses and past members and players, so they really get behind the club, and the community is very close-knit.
The football community in Port Pirie, you guys play a big role in that, obviously, with having an elite club in that region. You guys do other stuff with schools and stuff like that. Tell me a little bit about what you guys actually do as a club.
Well, we try and help Port Pirie juniors as much as we can. We try. We've got people to go out to support the certain schools. They've got their own little club setups, and we support them with balls, and sometimes some of our coaches go out and do some coaching clinics with them and stuff like that. So that's the sort of stuff we do.
How important is that for the community and also those schools being able to offer that support for the football community?
Yeah, yes. Well, we also offer the use of the ground for training for kids. The kids love coming out there. So the schools quite often ask for the training sessions on the pitch and all that sort of stuff.
You guys play that role with the local community, and also you're looking after those kids. But you guys have had for about 10 years now, the under-13s and under-15s. How important is that for your club, having those junior kids playing in the JPL?
Oh, it's very important for us because it's our lifeline to our senior team. We get kids that we compete with the AFL like a lot of other country areas do, and the thing where we're disadvantaged that our kids are brought up with one night a week training because their other nights footy or basketball or whatever that may be. So when they come to the senior team, they're not as technical as a lot of the metro players.
Yep.
So, and that's our battle. And then they get that experience in the 13s and 50s to step up another level and get ready to play state league soccer.
So that's obviously would have played a massive impact in the club over the years, and the quality as well, wouldn't it?
Very important for us. Very important.
And as a club as well, it's good to see a lot of clubs being able to create their own women's teams as well, because a lot of clubs if you look back 10 years ago, only a handful would have had women's teams, but almost every single team that's in the State League 2, 1 and NPL have a women's team as well. It's a fantastic achievement, and you guys got it in 2018. What's it like now being able to have juniors, senior men's, and also the senior women's at the one club now?
Yeah, they're Div 4. I think they're playing Div 5 this season. But it's very. We've got a huge amount. They've got nearly 20 players in their squad this year. So interest is incredible with girls and women's with us, and it just brings another group of families and more interest and to support the the club as a whole, you know.
Do you think that one day the football community will be bigger than the actual Aussie Rules community up in Port Pirie? Or is that just a dream at the moment?
I'd like to think so, but yeah, they look, as you know, politically they push AFL everywhere, and in the country areas it's very, very hard to get on top of that. You know, we might steer one way and then they'll shift nights football's played, so they force the kid to make a choice, and a lot of them come from footy backgrounds, and that you know, unless they've got a love for the game, they stick to our game, you know.
Oh, absolutely. But once they get a taste of Dom's pizzas, I'm sure they're not going to go any other way. Just stick at the club, won't they?
Might turn them off if I burn them as well.
They might not want to play. They might just want to stay in the club rooms, eat your pizza all night, maybe.
No, yeah, they love their seven-a-side. We have that. We got a huge amount of junior teams in our seven-a-side, and it's great. You know, kids having fun, and that's what it's all about. And with that, they're playing soccer all year round, not only during the winter. They're playing during the summer as well. So, you know, that's what we're trying to get on top of, and it gives them that opportunity to become better players and love the game and kick the AFL out.
Absolutely. I'll back you on that one. That'll be a big one for you guys to try and achieve over the next few years. Hey, but there's a lot of struggles you guys have to deal with, but you manage it very well. And we talked about earlier how you got to drive to the city. It's obviously now you don't use it as an excuse, but you obviously have to juggle having two training pitches, training sessions as well. One based in Adelaide, one based in Port Pirie. How do you manage to juggle all that?
A lot of organisations, to be honest. You know, the majority of our players in Adelaide are Pirie boys that have moved to Adelaide for work and uni and all that sort of stuff. So that gives them that still hold that connection with Pirie. And look, it's a big commitment for them as well, because then they've got to travel to Pirie every second weekend, but they come to see their family at the same time. But, you know, we got the boys are training on the Comet's old ground on Greenhill Road, squad of up to 15, mixture of resis and first team players. And under the guidance of a good mate of mine, Adrian Lee, he's a coach down there. And the other half of the squad train in Pirie under the local coach, Michael Roros. And, you know, first team don't train together. It's unheard of. And that's what we've got to overcome on match days, and, you know, and just try and make up for in other ways, you know, the way we play. But, you know, if we come up with a simple game plan and the boys will understand it, we do all right.
I don't like talking about COVID too much, but the last couple of years you finished 9th and 10th, and prior to that we mentioned you finished in the finals.
Yeah.
What kind of impact did it really have? Not just obviously the training, people missing out on trainings due to isolation and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But what other impacts did you guys seem to experience as a club?
Oh, probably with the early one where there was a lot of uncertainty on that and how we could trade as a club, and we made the decision as a club, like a few other clubs did, to not pay their players, and I think Joel Porter was the coach at the time that didn't get paid for the rest of the season. You know, he done it for the club, which was huge, and yeah, it was just all unknown because we couldn't trade, and we didn't know what was coming in, and we couldn't fulfil our commitment. So we just took a step back and played all the young boys and just get game time into them, and hopefully we'll benefit that in the next couple of years.
Well, that's a good thing about it, maybe, because you look at it, you obviously didn't have the money to be able to play the older ones, but giving the young kids the opportunity, like you said, hopefully in the future you guys will get a bit of a benefit out of that.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's always a positive comes out of a negative, or always looked at it that way. You know, you take a step back, give the game time into the young boys, and it'll bear fruit for sure.
And I love your dedication for the club, because you're not only just technical director, but outside of the work, you got 3 kids. You're a tiler by trade. How do you manage to fit all that in and also be able to make pizzas as well at the club?
I manage it. When I coached in 2011, 2012, I look back and say, how did I do it?
Yeah,
but I did it. It's an incredible commitment to coach a team. I find this role helps me juggle things a little bit better. You know, I'm not out training. I'll pop my head out there. I'll stay out there for an hour and make sure everything's going smoothly and the players are happy. But look, it's just provides the kids a game of soccer.
Yep.
And if you can take 2 kids off the street, well, that makes me happy.
Hey, and what about the other volunteers? Because obviously you've got, I can see the passion that you have for the game, but obviously at your club you have a lot of other volunteers like that. Who are some of the very important volunteers at your club, other than yourself, obviously?
Oh, we've got we've got some excellent support. I mean, if I start naming them, I'll forget someone, but that's for sure. Look, we've got a guy called Greg Cox, who moved here from Adelaide in the late 70s, who played top flight football in Adelaide and moved here for teaching, and has been involved coaching kids in the club, coaching the kids at school where he teaches, and unbelievable every year. He's done it for 45, 50 years.
Jeez.
Which is incredible. And you just got so many dedicated people in the club that are working for years and years. But, we're not alone.
Absolutely. And I love the history at your club as well. Over 70 years now. Last year you couldn't celebrate your 70th, but you're doing it this year. So 70 plus 1 years of being around in football community. How are you guys celebrating this year?
Well, we had a board meeting. It looks like it's going to go ahead. So we just got struck with bad timing. Everything went smoothly up to that week it hit, and it just threw everything in the air. But look, it probably took a little bit of enthusiasm out of it, if that makes sense. But I'm sure when it gets closer to the date, we'll celebrate it pretty hard, because everyone loves it, looks forward to it. A few of the older players come back and celebrate. A lot of the older members and the more off members, and spend the whole weekend reminiscing. And we have a Guernsey auction as well that we do quite well. It should be a big weekend.
Oh, beautiful. Love it. Love celebrating a big milestone like that, because there's a lot of history there with the Italian migrants creating the club. So it'd be good to celebrate that, those 70 plus years.
Oh, for sure. A lot of history there, and there's a lot of special people who have passed by then, but from that put in a lot of years into the club. And it's time for reflection, and it's probably an emotional night on the ball as well, because they put up their videos and all that sort of stuff, and you see all the people that have passed and they're giving their heart and soul. Man, people continue to give their heart and soul.
So that night's going to be a lot of fun celebrating those years, but obviously you're going to be able to celebrate the corporate sponsors that you guys have that help run this community club in Port Pirie.
Yeah, we've got some very loyal sponsors that, without them, we wouldn't do what we can do. And the biggest ones, our corporate ones, are Pirie Tiles and Hardware, again, a local business that relies on Pirie and surrounding areas. You've got Men's Land, the local clothing store, Regional Solar, Mid-State Mitre 10, the local hardware shop, and Pisani Accountants. You've got the Risdon Hotel, a local hotel that, without these guys, we wouldn't be able to do what we do, but very loyal.
That's good to hear that there's all those support behind the club. It's a great club down there, and hopefully you guys celebrate the 70 plus years this year, and it's going to be a big night for the club. And before we end it, I want to quickly go into a couple of kicking it questions to end it off. Bit of fun. Which footballer in the world, anyone, can be absolutely anyone, would you love to kick a football with?
Kick a football with? Oh, it's got to be Mo Salah at the moment.
Nice. That's a good one.
You get around me quite easy too.
What about this next one is an interesting one. 2 footballers or anyone involved in the football community, someone local at your club and someone overseas, can be anyone that you would love to kick back with and watch a football game with and have a couple of red wines, and maybe you can cook some pizza for them as well.
So one overseas and one locally.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so locally can be at your club or.
Oh, look, yeah, probably a guy called Chris Innes. He's our vice captain this year, so he's a bit of fun. He's a character. And overseas, obviously, I'm a Liverpool supporter, and you got these idols, and I'd love to sit down and watch a football game with Kevin Keegan.
Oh, nice. That would be an experience. Thank you so much for joining me, Dom. I really appreciate your time and your passion for the game, and also for the club in Port Pirie and the Port Pirie, obviously, football community up there. And all the best with the years to come, and hopefully another 70 plus years of success at the club.
Yeah, thank you very much, and look out for the Demons in 2022.
Absolutely, and I might have to do a 2.5 hour trek to come and try your pizza one night as well.
No problem, mate. I'll let you know.
Thanks so much. That was Domenic Sciancalepore from the Northern Demons in the State League 2. Make sure you subscribe to Kicking It Local wherever you get your podcasts so you can get a taste of the SA football community. Plus, follow Kicking It Local SA on Instagram and Twitter so you don't miss any of the action. See you soon.